Hey guys, this is Brian from Hollywood Studios. Today we're going to show you some tricks and tips for assembling the CoasterDynamix NanoCoasters. Many of the theme park chains out there have started selling them for their roller coasters, and they make great souvenirs. This one is the Jersey Devil coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. I started opening up. In the box, you have the base. You'll have the sheet with all the pieces that you're going to have to cut out. And then you have your instructions. The first things first, you want to take your board. You're going to peel off all the backing material here. This one's going to have a lot of little sections. Sometimes you can get it with just your fingernail, otherwise you might have to use a little razor blade if you got one. For the most part, it peels off pretty easy. And you are going to do both sides. I already did the back, save a little time. Next, you're going to cut out all the pieces. Now there's many different ways you can do this. I believe it is Metal Earth has a 3-piece set that has cutters, pliers, they're meant for this. If you plan to do a lot of these, probably worth investing in that. Or you can always go to like Home Depot, get a little pair of cutters. But if you don't want to go out and invest in anything, one of the best things, and actually CoasterDynamix recommends, using a nail clipper. As you can see, they're attached by these little points here. And you're just gonna cut it. Just snip it right there. You can do that for all the pieces. And here's one of the pieces cut out. I like to cut everything out first, lay it out, and then start assembling. That's and remember, you're cutting these little pieces, the little thin strips that connect the track pieces that are your actual model to the sheet of metal that it was manufactured on. Okay, now that everything's cut out, this is now garbage. You don't need to hang on to that. So we're going to come back to the base. Now you can see that there's two sides to this. This side that has lines of the layout, and this side that does not. So the side that does not is the bottom of it. So this is your top where you're going to put all the track pieces in. On the bottom, as you can see, there's tabs here. When you put them in, they get folded over to the bottom to lock it so it doesn't come back up. So now to the instructions. Get the base lined up. This is the base, is how it's supposed to be. So we're going to take the first track piece, which is this, and you got to match it up to the pictures. So as you can see in the instructions, this follows these bunny hills, and then this straightaway. Now there's a curve in this, and obviously they're not curved yet. You're going to have to bend them into shape. Now some tricks that I like for bending, I've gone to Home Depot and got pieces of wood, because I like to, depending on what size of it is, I will bend the track around the dowel. But if you're not handy to cut a piece of wood, or don't want to go to Home Depot, really you can go use a highlighter at home, Sharpie marker, or something that's about the width or a little bit smaller even, to help bend it. It just gets you to make that nice smooth bend. So we're going to put the first piece in. So before I start bending as well, I like to find where the track is. So knowing the layout of Jersey Devil, then I know that this straightaway is going to be the station and the lift hill, and this is the brake run. So I know that this end piece is going to line up to this open groove. This second tab here is going to go in this groove right there. So you see it bends slightly here, going to the third tab and then the fourth tab. You see that kind of goes like that. Now I'm not going to fully see yet because I got to make my bend. So this wood piece pretty much almost follows it pretty good. So at least it gets me started on a nice smooth bend. And the rest of it I could kind of finagle that bend in to the tab. So that's going to go in that first tab piece. And we're going to push them all down in. So you see how now it's flush with the base? And on this side you can see all of these tabs are sticking through. You're going to fold the tabs. Just fold them. I would make sure you don't fold them into a line. Make a note it's close, so when that tab comes through you're going to fold it. Try and fold them all the same way. And then you see, you can pull up on it, it's not coming out, it's locked in. So that is the brake run and finale to the coaster. And you see here we have that nice bend turn. Like I said, you can go out, buy dowel from Home Depot, whatever. But if you're not planning to do a lot of them, or find something around the house to help, because I know I've read online a lot of people struggle with getting the bends right, or they bend it too much and then break the piece. It is thin metal, and if you do bend them a lot back and forth, it will break it off. When we come back to instructions, step 3. Looks like 2 big camelbacks, but if you know the layout, this is the stall, and that, so again, match it up. And you can see that one of them has the crossbeam here and the other one doesn't, and that the support that is not here goes toward the back of it. And this one looks pretty easy. It's just straightforward. We're gonna find the tabs again. Easier, these big tabs, you can see they go in there, but I like to start getting a small tab in first because that's a single tab, and then work the rest of the piece in. And this one does have a curve in it too. I think the bigger tab will work. So there, that piece again, lock all the tabs in. I like to, give some good pressure down. Be careful because you can kind of cut yourself if you're really aggressive with the piece. As long as you're kind of gentle and careful with it, you're really not going to cut yourself. So there's 2 pieces in. Go back to instructions. Now we're on step 4. It's going to be this little, the turnaround after the brake run on this coaster. As you can see, there's 2 different ends. This end is the furthest on the model. Again, we're gonna have a nice bend here, which I could probably start with this one. I'll say this is probably one of the harder models, at least I've done, just because it is a very narrow and tight coaster. Once it's in place, hold all your tabs again. See the above layout, how it has that bend, it has a good shape to it. Next we're down here at 5, which is the brake one part, and then the block brakes. It's going to be this piece. And then we're going to have a really tight turn here at the crow's nest part, or not sure really what RMC called that maneuver. I like to insert on the straightaways first, just briefly kind of insert it. I know I have a bend coming up. This is a very tight one. Looks like it's a little tricky because this one support has to go under. Looks like I didn't quite trim it. And we got that piece in, which look here, it is very tight. The coaster itself is a very tight coaster. Then we got step 6, which is the lift hill and Raven turn, Raven dive. So this piece here, has a little, starts like this, and at one point it's a little bend to it. And there's a slight bend again. So that's it. Yes. You can see I kind of bent that. So that's how that's gonna match up to this piece here, and the rest of it's straight. Which it now looks. Under here, you can see there's no tab here, but there's a tab there. There's a tab here. If you look in the instructions, that this is actually bent out. A lot of the B&M ones like to have bent supports. So this one, you actually have to bend that middle support out. When you're doing these, just really look at there's no words in it, so it's a lot of looking at photos and playing the matching game. So now we have the complete layout of the Jersey Devil coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. Then the last two things are to install the little sign. Put it right here. I have to give it a little bend it so when he's sitting it has a nice little angle. Can't see it. And then the station house. So you see the roof side. This I just kind of like to do over my finger. You can bend the sides a little bit. These are very fragile. So you gotta be very careful with these. And kind of bend it into a house shape. And then right here. And lock those tabs in. And there is Jersey Devil NanoCoaster, Six Flags Great Adventure. They are fun to do. I enjoy them. CoasterDynamix puts out a great product. Yeah, it's really good. Like I said, anyone can pretty much do these. You don't have to go out and buy things like dowels and this to be able to do these. Like I said, you can use the clippers, you can use highlighter, pen, hairbrush handle, whatever you got to help with some of these bends, because they are a little tricky. And just really pay attention to the instructions really examine each photo, see what, like I said, this one actually had to be folded out. Thanks for watching.
Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.